Should have been a F smash on my part.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Nice.
Alrighty. So, a couple things are gonna happen probably in the next few games. One thing that was like the main habit I saw is you're panicking with jab a lot. Using jab itself is not necessarily bad. It's frame 5. It hits over your head. It's disjointed. It can combo into itself kind of, so you can get like the full 3 hits. But as far as if you happen to miss the first jab or even the second jab, just continuing through and doing the entire thing, it's putting you into a lot of lag, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to, well, realistically, the answer is don't panic. But if you are going to panic with something, I'd much rather see you panic with Nair, because if you happen to miss your Nair, you can use your Nair and bounce off my shield. You have a hitbox to all around you. You can move while you're doing it. And if you see that you've missed your Nair, you don't have to continue with all 3 of them. You can go with one, then you can jump out of it. You can air dodge out of it. You just have some more mobility. Versus if you jab and how you're facing backwards or forwards even. Against Falco, it's not bad if you're facing forwards, because I can't really challenge it too much. I can try and challenge the end with like a dash attack or maybe like a dash grab or a side B. But as far as like F smashing you for it, I have to run towards you then go for a frame 17 move. Probably not going to happen. So if I was a sword character though, you're going to get F smashed for sure. Or at least hard punish, like if it's Sephiroth or Cloud, or even like a Marth Lucina, right? Ike forward tilt would go straight through that too. So just be careful with that.
Okay. Yeah, mashing like jab and then it like buffers it. Yeah, that definitely gets me killed.
Yeah, I gotta be super careful with that. But yeah, let's play out this next one here, and just be aware of it. I'll try and point it out if it happens to happen. There's some pros to it, like as far as you getting that move out fast, that's fine. But sometimes you're missing punishes because you're busy going for a jab, and other times you're gonna get punished, right? Yeah.
Right.
So sometimes I'm just escaping, right? When I didn't do anything right either, we just kind of reset, and I should be getting hit.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, let's keep going. I was gonna say one thing about Sora that you might not like to hear is Sora is not a very aggressive character.
Yeah, I actually watched your video on that, and I like really appreciated you saying that, because when I started playing him that way, which is more like bait and punish and just kind of like wait around and everything, I was like, shit, this works.
Yep.
But naturally, yeah, I do come off and I can be aggressive, and I think I'm still trying to adapt to the, kind of wait around and bide my time and wait for my opponent to mess up and, punish them for that.
And yeah, honestly, if you play him aggressively, I feel like you have to play against someone else who wants to also play very aggressive. And even then, you can still get blown up. You kind of have to stay more on the bait and punish side versus to just hold forward. Like if you try to do that versus Roy, you're probably going to get destroyed.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
If he wants to play the same way, as far as you're both aggressive, it's just going to be a bad time. If you whiff punish him though, you can do really well. If you're whiff punishing him with ice, or if you have your counter or your forward tilt, or just getting him off stage and hitting him with your forward tilt, which 2 frames at the ledge here, or just catching him with like Nair or Fair off stage, you can kill him pretty easily. But if you want to just try and do what you want to do, it's probably going to be a bad time. He's just so much faster too. And the fact that Sora is floaty, you really don't want to spend too much time obviously getting hit, but getting hit into a juggle situation. If you're trying to land all the time, you're going to have a terrible time.
That's one of the biggest problems with him. I actually have a friend who plays Palu, and that's like been an issue against them with their Palutenas getting stuck in air, because they are similar, like you said. But Palutena, in terms of punishing floaty characters, she has a better time doing it.
Yeah, she has literally, in my opinion, the best time. Like up air, Nair, like they just last for 10 years. Like if you get hit by them, you're either dead or you're still in juggle situations. So
yeah, it's been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's tough times. But yeah, let's fight this out and then see what happens. Look, even like right there, you got me with the jab, and then I think we like flinched or traded or something, but I was able to get in the shield before you could jab again, right?
Yeah.
If you had gone for Nair and dumped away, right? There's a chance I didn't get punished, but you wouldn't have got punished, right?
Exactly. That's a good point, yeah.
So back air of the shield, potentially. Or even just Nair. Like, you really can't go wrong with Nair out of shield, bro. It's honestly so good.
Yeah, his Nair is, like, really good.
Like, it feels like a bit of a cop-out in some cases because you wish you could do something that does more damage, but it's like it gets you with such a good situation. It's a guaranteed juggle situation, and his juggling is actually outrageous.
Yeah.
Like, up air is insane. What's it called? Nair still stands straight up as well.
Ooh,
right?
yeah.
You're honestly not doing too bad. The one thing I'd like to see next is more combos. So whether you're coming down with Nair 1 or Fair 1, just doing that into combos, even if it's something simple like that, right? Because your Nair and Fair are both super safe on shield. Nair's -6 and Fair's -8. So if you space them well, they can't really be punished by anything unless it's like a big hitbox out of shield. You're not going to get grabbed for doing it. Unless your spacing is terrible and then you go for like a jab or a down tilt immediately. But yeah, if you play safe, right, and throw out your proper, if you have good spacing with your Nair and Fair, you can get way better combos. Even if it's a 2-piece combo or a 3-piece combo, it's always going to be better than just one, right?
Yeah. Like chicken, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They use for chicken wings.
Yes, sir.
Gotta get the 3-piece combo.
Trying to get the 2 pounds out here.
I'm saying, bro.
At least.
At least. Ooh.
I went for it all. I smashed.
No.
I just went for it all, bro. Oh man.
But yeah, no, the combos, definitely. I realized what I find myself doing, like you pointed out in the beginning, from like nerves, is I feel like my hands get heavier when I play. It's like I guess the nerves and everything, and that kind of messes up the combos for me because I'll like try to go like fast fall the first hit of like Fair Nair or something like that to start the combo off, but then it'll just be me mashing because of like nerves and everything.
Okay. So there's a couple things you can do, I guess, that are on the outside or exterior sources, I guess, as far as if you're nervous, you can have some rituals for yourself, as far as some people like to warm up to a certain song, some people like to wear a certain sweater, some people have to have a special hot chocolate, lemonade, whatever their special drink is, and those things for certain people, like that's just what it is, right? It's like I gotta listen to my favorite song to feel like not safe, but like happy or like comfortable, and then on the inside, as far as for yourself, a lot of the time it is going to be practicing or just going through the experience and just saying, you know what, it's baptism by fire, right? Just you gotta see what happens, and that's how you get your experience more often than not. It's unfortunate that there's no real way to just
there's no cheat code.
There's no way to, like, I guess, massage yourself into the community or into the atmosphere where it's like, I'm just never gonna be nervous. Because even if you get to a certain point where you're over your nerves, there's going to be something new that's going to bring it back. So the nerves could be, to start off, it could be like you're afraid of going to your first tournament, and then you go and then you're fine. And then you're afraid of going and let's say losing in a stupid way or losing to the same people or something. And then let's say you go and then you beat them, and then you get to a farther part where it's like, I have a bracket demon, or I'm on the cusp of getting into top 8, so I don't want to come 9th place because that's heartbreaking. And let's say you go to every single tournament and you always come 9th place. It's like, I just want to get to top 8 at least. If I lose after that, I don't even care. I just want to not get stopped in the same spot every single time, right? And then it's fighting a pro player, and then it's potentially winning a tournament, right? Getting a reverse 3-0. There's always things that are going to bring something. So
I hear you.
One thing I can say, and this has helped me with competing and just like with playing with people in general, is unless you know something I don't, I would say 99.9% of the player base in Smash are nice people. And if you honestly, if you put it into that perspective, as far as saying the person I'm playing against wants to win, but they don't hate me. Right? It's not scary to play against this person. Like, if I lose, something bad is actually going to happen in my life, Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
It's always GGs. It's always like, if I can, not always, people are going to give you advice. If it's a super close game, then they're going to have to go just calm down if they're stressing, But if someone's like, okay, like I want to see this person come back to this tournament, or I want to help somebody, or maybe you make a friend with someone, right? It's like when I went to when I was going to my locals like years ago, like before COVID and stuff. There were certain pro players there where it's like, it was super intimidating to play them, because it's like, I'm going to get destroyed, I'm going to get embarrassed, they're going to style on me, all this stuff. It's like, no, they just played normal and they won, but they didn't like go out of their way to try and embarrass me, right? Like, that's if it happened, then it happened, but it's not like I'm going to be getting taunted on and yeet smash and all this other stuff. It's just like, whatever. And then after you're done the game, it's like, oh, what's going on? Like, how's it going? You know, it's just normal.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you can really psych yourself out being like, oh my God, I had to fight, I don't know,
Whoever. Yeah.
H-Box or Tilde or Larry Lur or Leo or Void or something.
Leo,
it's like,
Void,
bro,
yeah, Esam, all
like,
them.
I promise you on my life, like, if I played Void, it would be intimidating, but you know he's not a mean guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you take that context out of it, it's like he's here to destroy you. It's like, that's not it. He's here to just play, you know?
Yeah.
And if you go into tournaments, like, of course, depending on your scene, if you have like a small local or whatever, like if you're going to a college or I don't know, like a gaming lounge or something like that, everyone there they want to be there. They're enjoying their time. So it's more supposed to be about enjoying the game. And if you put it into that perspective versus saying, if I lose, I'm a failure, or if I lose, everyone's going to laugh at me, or it's going to be like the most embarrassing thing. I'm going to get run out of town.
Honestly,
you know,
I think it's because of the pressure I put on myself. I don't even think it's the pressure from others. I think it's really just me putting too much pressure on myself. Like, oh, you know, you've been playing and I haven't even been playing the game that long. I've been playing the game since like 2019. So but you'll tell yourself, oh yeah, you've been playing since then and you've been at this tournament, and he's like, oh, why do you keep losing? You should be winning by now. A video I watched, I don't know who it was by, I don't know, and maybe it was by you, but it was by someone, and they said that one of the best mindsets to have is to go into like every game like with the I'm here to learn something, you know, like I look forward to learn something in this match, rather than going into every game like, oh, I gotta win.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what can I learn from this my opponent? What can I learn from this person that can help me improve and get better for the next game?
Yeah. That might have been me. I'm sure I know I've said that in videos in the past, but
really could have been you, because I literally have I have a playlist of your stuff, bro.
Hey, let's go.
Like a lot of your stuff is like also helped me and everything. So yeah, definitely could have been you.
And I was gonna say, as far as going into tournaments, like, we kind of just summed it all up. As far as you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and as far as that's right away telling you that if you're fighting someone who's a top player or a pro player, they don't hope that you do bad. Right? They're not saying hopefully he SDs, hopefully he makes a massive mistake so I can win. It's like, you see people, like, that's why sometimes when people SD at the end, when someone goes to like shake your hand, they're sad. Like, they won, but they're not even happy. It's like, I wanted to beat you for real. I didn't want to beat you because you made a mistake because you were nervous. Like, I was nervous too, but I got lucky. You know, I've had that situation happen too, where me and my opponent are both completely shook, but I'm shook less. So I barely win, but it's disastrous on both our parts. It's like, okay, like, it wasn't pretty, but I won. But it's like, well, did I really win? It could have gone either way. So if you just take that, if you can take that out of your mindset as much as you possibly can, to be like, I want to see my opponent do well, so that if I win, it feels like I accomplished something, versus saying I won because they SD'd in both games or something, right?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. 100%.
You know what? Let's get out of this game.
Okay.
And then we'll find the next one. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for sure with mentality for competing is, like, don't be afraid to lose. That's probably the biggest thing. Is like, if you play super scared, you're probably gonna lose because you're giving up punishes, for example, or as for one thing. So if you're just letting your opponent do whatever they want and you're afraid of getting reversed or destroyed or clipped or whatever, it's like they're playing completely reckless and you're playing beyond scared, and they could have been punished like 15 times, but you did nothing because you thought they're a magical top player, where if you mess up once, you're instantly dead. And trust me, I've been there before.
And in reality, you probably didn't learn much either. From that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, every player has access to the same characters with the same frame data. So if you know how to practice against a certain character and they have this is minus on shield or plus on shield or this unsafe or whatever, if someone does that move, just because MK Leo doing it doesn't mean that it's unpunishable, right? If he genuinely makes a mistake, you got to capitalize, or you should try to, right? Of course, it's extreme, but you get what I'm saying. It's not like his Byleth has like 5 frames less on everything compared to everyone else, right? It feels like it sometimes, but
sometimes you watch, and you're like, how the fuck did you do that? But you just figure something out.
Exactly. All right, let's do this. Fight to the death.
Let's go. Gotcha.